When it comes to arbitrage blogging, RPM is very important, and most of the times the reason why you see some people saying that arbitrage blogging is no longer paying, or that they were taught an outdated stuff or something like that. If you check most of them, you understand that they focus so much on traffic without checking their RPM, without minding their RPM. Even when their RPM is dying, it doesn't concern them. Their own is to push traffic. And if you continue pushing traffic when your RPM is down, you're going to lose your money. You continue spending more than you earn until you give up and maybe look for somebody you blame, or at times, if you are wise enough before you understand that you are the one that is actually doing the wrong thing. Okay, so that's why we are so much focused on RPM so that you learn more things about RPM. Okay, so and that's why our topic is advanced RPM maximization and increasing revenue without increasing traffic. Now, advanced RPM maximization, increasing revenue without increasing traffic. We'll be learning increasing session time, increasing pages per section, experimenting with ad placement, improving site speed to reduce bounce rate. All these things are the things we'll be going through this night. And when you learn all of them very well, that's when, if by any day you start, if you are not getting enough results, you be able to understand where the problem is coming from. Now, in week 5, which is this week we are already in, we are no longer learning how to start. You know that, right? We are no longer learning how to start. I've taught you guys how to start. So now we are optimizing. And this class focuses on maximizing RPM, because in arbitrage, increasing RPM is often more powerful than increasing traffic. Most of the times, as an arbitrage blogger, you don't need more traffic to earn. You only need more, a higher RPM, a healthy RPM to earn. And when you focus so much on traffic without caring about the RPM, that's when you spend higher and earn less. Okay. Now, what is RPM maximization? RPM maximization is the strategic improvement on how much revenue you earn per 1,000 page views. By improving user behavior, ad placement, ad exposure, and engagement, that's the things you can actually influence your RPM. Now, reminder formula, I've taught you guys this already, the formula on how to calculate. If your mic is on, please turn it off. Okay, I've taught you guys about this, how to calculate RPM, which I said revenue equal to page views divided by 1,000 times RPM. Okay, that's how to calculate your revenue and your RPM performance. Now, if RPM increases, profit margin increases, even with the same traffic. Okay, this is how RPM works. Let me say if your RPM is high, okay, let me see if your RPM is low this night and you are running arbitrage ads this night to drive traffic to your website, and you drive 1,000 traffic to your website, and maybe you earn Is there any other? Are you guys seeing my screen?
Yes, sir. Can see it very well.
Yes, we can see.
Okay.
I can see it now.
Um, so, okay,
Yeah, I can see it.
it's
I can
okay.
see it now.
So let's assume you are running ads this night, and maybe your RPM is high, or let me say if your RPM is low this night, and you are running ads, okay, and let's say you get the traffic you drive to your website is 1,000 traffic, and you earn $1, okay. Then by tomorrow, by law, your RPM increases. Your RPM, instead of being low, it start being high, going higher. If you run the same ads and get the same traffic of 1,000, remember before you earn $1 per 1,000. Now, if you run the same ads as your RPM is already increasing, and you get that same 1,000 page views, that one same 1,000 RPM, you're going to earn up to $5 for the same traffic, for the same amount of traffic. I'm just giving an instance. Okay. Now, why RPM matters at the execution level? It matters if 1,000, let's say you get 100,000 page views times $3 RPM. Let's assume that your RPM is $3. That will give you $300. If 100,000 page views times $3 RPM is $300, that means the same 100,000 page views, when your RPM is $6, is going to give you $600. You can see the difference now. The first one, you get 100,000 page views, 100,000 traffic to your website, and your RPM is $3. That means you're going to earn $300 for 100,000 page views. Now, if the same $100,000 views is pushed to your website where your RPM is $6 RPM, that means you're going to earn $600 for the same amount of traffic which earned you $300 before. That's the difference. Remember, you are getting the same page views, the same traffic with different earnings, and what influences the change is the RPM, what your RPM is. So instead of focusing on increasing traffic, focus on increasing your RPM. This is very important, and it's something you should get into your head so that you can possibly teach others. You can possibly tell, so even a pro blogger can possibly tell the person, instead of focusing on increasing your traffic, why not focus more on increasing your RPM? Because the higher your RPM, the higher your earning potential. Now, same traffic, double profit. In execution stage, traffic costs money. RPM growth increases profitability without increasing ad spend. You can see the difference here. If your site is not, if your blog is not earning enough, and you want to focus on getting more traffic, that means you're going to start spending more money. But when you focus more on increasing your RPM, you are not going to increase your ad spend. You are not going to increase your expenses. You're only going to increase your earning, the profit that you are gaining. So it's better to focus on increasing your RPM than focusing on increasing your traffic. Now, session one, increasing session time. There is what we call session time. And I'm going to teach you guys how to increase session time. Now, what is session time? Session time is the average duration a user stays on your website during a visit. Get this into your head, it's very important. In arbitrage blogging, we call session time. We say session time when we are referring to the average duration a user stays on your website during a visit. Let's assume that this is a website. Okay, this is a website. Let's use legit.ng this night. Okay, let's assume you visit this website this way. This is legit.ng website. Okay, if you visit this website like this, the more you stay here, is the more the session duration increases. Okay, it's talking about the time that I'm staying here. Okay, you can see it's almost about some seconds that I open this website and I'm still here. And when you click on any of the posts, let's assume you click on one of the posts and it opens this way. This is one of the legit.ng blog posts. Okay, the more you stay here, is the more the session increases, the session time increases. Okay, so that's what session time is all about. Now, website longer session time loads more ads, increases ad impression, and improves advertisers' value perception. Okay, this is going to show you how session time contributes so much in your earning. Okay, the longer a visitor stays in your website, loads more ads, that alone can increase your impression, ad impression, which is going to lead to improving advertiser value perception, and then give you better earning, increase your earning. Now, how to increase session time? You can increase session time by writing structured, flowing content. I've taught you guys about structuring of content in your website, using storytelling transitions. Using the transitions like moreover, furthermore, additionally, all those things makes reading more interesting. When you are writing a blog post, using those transition words, moreover, therefore, furthermore, additionally, all those transitional words. Okay, breaking content into readable section. If you check this website, this legit website, you can see how they break each section of this. You can see the first section. When you finish the first section, you meet the second section. You can see it. Then you continue meeting different sections of their content. Okay, breaking content into readable sections, not just one way. At times, if you're reading my post on Facebook, you will notice something that I'm good in breaking my content, and that's why you can still see people, no matter how long my Facebook post is, you can still see people reading to the end. If I should ask you to write the same post using the same content, but with your own structure, there's a high possibility that the same people that read my own from the beginning to the end can be able to read your own to the end. If you don't know how to break your content into readable sections, giving gap to start another paragraph, all those breaking of your content increases the flow, the sweetness of the content, and all of those things. Okay, when everything is just together all along, it makes a reader, the person reading it, it will become very boring. Okay, avoid large text block, which is the same thing about breaking paragraphs. Adding supportive subheadings. I've taught you guys heading, how to use headings. Okay, we will learn about content structure. So that's how to increase your session time. Readers don't leave because content is short. They leave because it's poorly structured. Okay. Now, engagement triggers that increase time. Engagement triggers that increase time. Now, these are the type of engagements, how you should put together your content so that you get the engagement triggers, which is going to increase the time visitors spend in your website. The first one, mini cliffhangers between sections, bullet summaries, question-driven paragraphs, clear progression in content, and lastly, engagement increases ad exposure. Engagement increases ad exposure. Okay, so all these things, when you start doing all of these things, it contributes so much on triggering engagement, which is going to lead to higher session time duration. Okay. Now, section 2, increasing pages per section. What are pages per section? When we talk about pages per section, it's actually talking about measures. Page per section measures how many pages a visitor view before leaving your site. Okay. Page per section measures how many pages a visitor views before leaving your site. Okay, now the things you should do that is going to contribute to your page per section is more pages viewed. When you do the right thing, it's going to contribute so much in such a way that more pages will be viewed by visitors, more ad impressions, and higher RPM. And this is the simplest way to tell you what I contribute to your RPM. Okay, whenever you want to increase your RPM, what you should focus so much on ad impression. Okay, the impression is what I contribute so much in pushing your RPM higher. So when you are writing your content, that's why I always tell other arbitrary bloggers. At times you see an arbitrary blogger saying that they don't really need to write a good content as an arbitrary blogger. They only have to write anyhow content, drive traffic to the website, and earn their money. But it's not true. If you really know what you're doing, you should focus much on structuring your content, making sure that your content is clearly structured. And when your content are clearly structured, that's when it will contribute to your page views. And your page views will lead to more ad impression. I've taught you guys what impression is all about. It's talking about how many ads that displayed to a visitor to your website. How many ads a visitor that is in your website sees in your website. That's the impression. So when a visitor stays longer in your website, that's when it increases the ad impression, meaning that the user is going to see more ads in your website. And from seeing more ads in your website, that's when your RPM will start increasing. And that's when your earning will start booming. Okay? Now, how to increase pages per session? Number one is strategic internal linking. Linking your different posts that has the same related content, putting them together, interlinking them together. I've taught you guys about internal linking. Related articles, make sure that at the end part of your website, let's use this website as an example. Let's use this travel. Okay, let's use this guy's website as an example. And this is one of the things, this is one of AdSense requirements, this related content. In this website like this, if you click on read more, okay, if you come to this post like this and scroll down, this is a blog post. If you scroll down to the end, you start seeing related posts. Okay, and this is how this website is being used. All these things are related posts. You continue seeing related posts. Okay, so that contributes to increasing your page views, because when a visitor is reading your website, is going through your website and reading your content, and maybe when they read to the end, remember they are reading about visa, and when they read to the end, they will see best travel insurance for Schengen visa. They will see another one, international NGO salaries in Africa, visa on arrival countries for African in 2025. They will from this particular post and jump to another post because the post is related to the one they just finished reading. So with all those linking, all those things, it contributes in increasing your page per section time. Now, topic clusters. Topic clusters is also talking about the same thing, going to the end part of your post, dropping a link of other posts that is related to this content. Okay, other topics that is also related to the same content. Content series. This is very interesting. Content series. At times, you can break your post. You can break your post into different sessions. Let's assume that you are writing about okay, international NGO salaries. You can say international NGO salaries in Africa. Then you use subheading to say part 1. Then you create the whole content. Then tomorrow you can bring another content and write it part 2 or the continuation. Then you go back to that your first post to drop the link of the second post talking about the same topic. By next, you can also create another part of the post. With that, it's going to be linking all the posts together so that visitors will be going from one post to another, reading from one part to the second part to the third part, which is going to increase your page per session time. Now, one additional page per visitor can increase the revenue significantly. One additional page per visitor can increase revenue significantly. Meaning that when a visitor visits any page of your website, and from there, jump to another page is going to contribute in your earning. Now, content flow strategy. How you should structure your content so that you increase your page per session time. Now, the main guide, make sure that you put out the related topics, advanced guide, case study, and this keeps users circulating within your site ecosystem. Now, session 3, experimenting with ad placement. Why ad placement impacts RPM? Ad placement influences visibility, CTR, scroll engagement, bounce rate, and wrong placement reduces revenue. So, and this is why I advised you guys the day we learned about ad placement. I told you guys that you should use auto ad placement, meaning that Google is going to be the ones to place your ad for you so that you don't make mistakes. Now, high performance ad positions, okay, how your ads should be displayed on your website. Test placement such as after first paragraph, between H2 sessions, mid content placement, end of article placement. These places are the places, let's assume that you are placing your ad manually. These are the places you should make sure that you place ads. After first paragraph of a post, between H2 sessions, mid content placement, end of article placement, and placement is not about quality, it's about visibility without disruption. Now, ad density balance. Too many ads increase bounce rate. Know this. When you add too many ads, when you place too many ads in your website, it's going to increase bounce rate. I've taught you guys what bounce rate is all about. Hurt users' trust. When users start seeing ads back to back, instead of seeing content, everything they're seeing, they're all ads, is going to hurt user trust. Now, what you should do and what you should not do. Don't let the ad placement be too many and don't let it be too few. When you have a too few ads, you're going to have limited revenue potential, and balance improves long-term RPM stability. So you must make sure that your ad placement is not too much and is not too few. Now, session 4, improving site speed to reduce bounce. What is bounce rate? Let's talk about this again. Bounce rate is the percentage of users who leave after viewing only one page. They just jumped into your website and run away immediately. They did not scroll. They just jumped into your website and then without doing anything, they jumped out. That's what bounce rate is all about. Whether they are bouncing in, bouncing out, they are all bounce rate. So if they bounce in and stays long, that means you will earn. If they bounce in and bounce out immediately, that is high bounce rate, which reduces your earning. Now, high bounce rates reduces impressions, lowers revenue, and it decreases session value. Now, why speed affects RPM? Why your site must be loading fast? Let it not load till tomorrow. At times it will say page not opening, try again. No, your site should not be like that. Every page of your website should be opening immediately. Now, why speed affects RPM? When your site has a slow loading speed, users exit before ads load. So when they get your website, instead of your ads to load immediately, your website will continue going loading. Before the ad will come out, the visitor maybe must have left your website. Now, lower session time. Slow website leads to lower session time and lower page per session. These are the things that the speed of your website can cause. Okay, why speed affect RPM? Fast website, when your website is loading fast instead of loading low. Okay, when your site is fast, it contributes on more engagement, gives you more engagement, higher ad visibility, meaning that ads are going to load faster and visitors are going to see ads immediately. Even if they are jumping out, you've earned money from them. Better RPM. From the higher ad visibility, it will lead to better RPM. Now, how to improve site speed? Use caching system. If you check all your websites, you will notice that there is this plugin I always install. There's this plugin called Light Speed plugin. I'm talking about those that I'm the one that designed their website and the ones that my team designed their website. There's this particular plugin you always install in your website called Light Speed Catch. Okay, is used as a catching system, which is going to contribute to the fast loading of your website. Compress images, and this light speed also compresses images, meaning that you no longer need another plugin for your images to be compressed. Reduce heavy themes. If your theme is a heavy one, that's why there are two themes which I always recommend to my students. If you check this website, you will notice that this website was not designed with square type. You guys only know about square type, which I already taught you guys. But this particular website is designed by another team called Blog Site Team. That's the name. Okay, that two team is a lightweight team. They are very simple, which means that your site is going to be loading fast. There is another team which I would have given to you that, but it's going to destroy everything for you. That it is called Smart Mark. It's a very beautiful and nice team, but the problem is that it has weight. It is a heavy plugin. It is a heavy team, meaning that it's going to reduce the speed of your website. Okay, so this particular blog site team and square type is most recommended because they are light speed. Okay, remove unnecessary plugins. Most of you guys, especially that site that their website were hacked. So many of them, I saw that most of them even enter their website installing any plugin they see. Any plugin that is looking beautiful to them, they will install it. Those things is going to reduce the speed of your website, which is going to lead to your website being too slow because you pushed both necessary and unnecessary plugins to your website. Optimize mobile performance, and speed optimization is revenue optimization. The faster your website loads, the faster you earn money. Now, combining all RPM factors. RPM increases when session time increases, pages per session increases, bounce rate increases, ad visibility improves, all metrics work together. All metrics work together. Okay? These are the things you should understand about RPM factors. RPM increases when session time increases, pages per session increases, bounce rate decreases, ad visibility improves, all metrics work together. Now, execution level optimization strategy: measure current RPM baseline, improve one factor at a time, Monitor for 7 to 14 days. Okay, when you place an ad, start driving traffic to your website, you can monitor before you conclude that your website is not performing well, before you conclude that your RPM is low, before you conclude that the traffic is cheap, you must test it and monitor it for at least 7 to 14 days of running ads. Compare performance and keep changes that improve revenue. Now, common RPM optimization mistakes, which I don't want you to make. Avoid overloading ads. Avoid ignoring mobile layout. Avoid chasing short-term CTR. Avoid sacrificing user experience. Okay? And key takeaway from week 5 at executional stage, these are the things you should bear in mind, that profits, traffic control, plus RPM optimization will give you what you're looking for. You do not always need more traffic. You need better monetization per visitor. What that improves profit growth is your traffic control plus RPM impression optimization, and you do not always need more traffic. You just need to grow your RPM, and you need better monetization per visitor. Our next class preview, the things we'll be learning in our next class, which is class 15, and it's going to be our last teaching section before we enter our practical. If you check, you understand that this is the second class of 5th week, and each week will have 3 classes. And our next class will be the last class of 5th week. And we are going to learn additional monetization streams, affiliate marketing, light integration, sponsored posts, native ad network, MGID, tabular, river, text, and others. Newsletter setup for retargeting, and long-term content ranking for organic traffic. These are the things we'll be learning in our next class. If you are the person that your mic is on, turn it off. Sir Samuel. Okay, so these are the things we'll be learning in our next class. And prepare for our next class. Don't miss it. So now, if you have any question, go on and ask me.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, I have a question on the page that carries this heading: high performance ad positions. In some our past class, you said at our level we should use auto placement, like auto ad placement. That's
Yeah.
Google will be the one to position our ad. Then in this particular slide, it said text placement such as after first paragraph between H2 section. So once we are using that auto placement, automatically is Google going to place the ad according to these instructions listed on this?
Yes. Yes, they are going to do that. So that's why it's better. So the only time you start doing it yourself is that not all the time. At times, Google might not insert or place ads in some of the places which you need. Okay? So that's when, but don't try doing it on your own as you are just getting started, so that you not go again, so that you not destroy your access. So the time you start doing that is when you've gone into arbitrary blogging, when you've gone into it very deep and understand things better before you start doing all of those things. Because the more you practice, the more you're going to keep experiencing new things and also understanding more about everything. So, but auto ad placement is perfect. So Google
So
makes sure that they balance everything. And remember what I told you guys, when your ad is too many, it affects your earning. It's going to increase bouncing rates. It's going to cost you some things. And when it's too few, it's also going to reduce your earning. So Google do balance it and make sure that the ad placement is well balanced.
so automatically, Google is going to know when is normal and not too much, right?
Yeah, they're going to balance it.
And anyhow they place it as a at affirmative stage right now. Anyhow Google places our ad, we just have to take it like that and don't need
Yeah,
to
even
try
pro
to adjust.
bloggers. Yes, even pro bloggers, those that are already most of them uses auto ad placement instead of placing ads themselves because at times it works better and it also reduces the risk of ad limits and other AdSense problems.
All right, thank you, sir.
Mr. Wilson. Hello.
Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Yeah. So in based on what the other guy said, if we should add a ad by ourselves, how many ad are we supposed to add?
There is no specific ads, but what you should do is I showed you guys places to place ads. Let's go back to that slide.
Oh.
Okay, according to this slide, if you calculate it, this slide is talking about per
This form.
page of the website. Just like this particular page here, let's open this. Just like this is a blog post. Okay, according to this slide, it says that you should place ads after first paragraph, and it's talking about display. This is the first paragraph. Ad should be placed here,
Yeah.
okay, or down here. That's number
Yeah.
one. It says between H2
H2 section.
sessions. Okay. Now the this is the H2 sessions. This is the first one. Let's assume that you have one ad here, and then you have another one here. You have another one here. You have another one here. Those are the H2 sessions. It
Section.
says
Okay.
mid-content placement. Mid-content placement. Make sure that you have ads from the beginning, which is after the first paragraph. Then in the middle of the post, you make sure that another ad is there. And here it says end article placement. Also make sure that the end of the article, just like this place, that you have another ad displaying down here. So when you open, when you want to insert, when you want to connect your site to AdSense, there is this plugin you will install. So that plugin controls. That's the plugin you can use to do all those ad placements. If you go there, it's going to show you all these things that I'm showing you here. After first paragraph, between H2 sessions, mid-content placement, end of article placement. What you're going to do is select them, tick them, and once you tick them, then those ads will be displayed after first paragraph, between H2 sessions, mid-content placement, end of article placement. I don't know if that is clear. So there's no amount of ads, there's no specific number of ads. So the number of ads is going to be displayed per post. It depends on how long and how short the post is. I don't know if you understand me.
Normal.
Very clear. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I want to understand more on the RPM, the difference in the